let's all be muted. Let's all be muted so that there will be no background noise. This is intended to run for 30 minutes, and then it's a 30 minutes presentation. And it's loaded. It's loaded. The people that attended the first edition shared their testimonies to the glory of God, of what God, of how the information has changed a lot of things in their life. So this is meant for everyone. This information is for everyone. Now I'm sharing my screen. I'm your facilitator. I hope you can see my screen. I'm already sharing my screen. My name is Abraham Enila. I'm the CEO of Vision Concept. I'm a certified IT support specialist, the founder of Abraham Enila International Ministry. I'm a regular speaker and host of a program called Wisdom Bank Inspiration. And then I also host a program called the Effective Leadership Brokers. I'm a personal coach. I'm also a leadership coach. And then, of course, pastor, lead pastor and founder of the Effectual Faith Assembly. Right? I'm a certified leadership consultant. So let me not bore you with too much listen, because I'm someone that carries so much certifications that sometimes I'm always afraid of myself, that I have so many. But by the special grace of God, the knowledge that the opportunity, the grace, the knowledge that God has given me opportunity to have is what makes me a blessing to people that I know sometimes. Sometimes I'm just willing and ready to give someone else information that I got with 200,000 at almost nothing to pay for it, or sometimes free, because I believe that God gave me the opportunity to have it. Please be muted. Now, this program, this particular topic is taken from one of our courses in the School of Ministry, which you are seeing, whose flyer you are seeing on the screen, certificate in media ministry. So today we are discussing developing effective presentation skill. This is important for everybody. Everyone that has one reason or the other to make a presentation needs to do what? Needs to understand this skill, needs to understand what it takes to present. Okay, so that's what we'll be discussing quickly within the time slot. So Sam Harrison said, and I quote, to connect with decision makers, we need to present ideas in their language. We need to present ideas in the language that the people you want to present to will understand, and not ours. Know their business. Talk with them, not at them, because some people talk at people rather than talking with people. They talk at people, and then otherwise they can't hear us when we speak. So that is what Sam Harrison said, that if you don't communicate, if you don't speak in people's language, if you don't talk in a way that people will be able to flow or follow, what you will see is that you are talking at people and not with them. Okay, you see some people when they are talking or when they are speaking, you are sleeping. Within 5 minutes of their engagement with you, you're already dozing off. Why? Because the person is possibly just talking at you, is not communicating, And so you yourself need to know what it takes to communicate. So what we want to learn, possibly we'll be able to cover the first two of these, and then this is a part of a course. So if you show interest and you register, you will get whole lot of a bundle of this. But this particular session we want to discuss will be how to identify necessary skill for effective presentation, discuss barriers to effective presentation, and then analyze visual aids and all those stuff. So let's see how far we can go. Now, developing presentation skill is very, very important. It's a vital, developing presentation skill is a vital aspect of life, of business, of ministry, of everything that we find ourselves doing in life. Presentation is part of communication skill in ministry. Many people in ministry do not pay attention to presentation, as we don't think it's necessary to our teaching or preaching or speaking engagement or addressing our colleagues, or maybe you are standing in before your colleagues in school, you're addressing them or something. You need to understand this skill. Okay. Now, let's look at the definition of the term. Presentation is the way a speaker conveys message. That is the way you convey message. That's what you call presentation. Okay. Now, while the word skill is the ability that you learn how to do something. That is skill. So skill is a learned ability to do something well, to do it with expertise. Many places I go to, after making a presentation, people stand up, they clap, they are happy because I've been able to pass across something, because I've shown some levels of expertise, because I've shown some level of good knowledge of what I'm doing. It is one thing to speak, it's another thing to know that there are rules to speaking, or there are rules to making presentation. Now, presentation skill is a learned ability to convey information effectively. So I want to pass information to people effectively. I need to develop a skill around it. I need to develop skill around it. Many people don't value skill. They just think that, oh, I need money. I just want to do this. I just want to go into this. No, you won't last. But if you develop skill around whatever you are doing, you will stay for a long time in that profession. Sincerely, you will last in that profession. Now, there are three major focuses when it comes to presentation. Okay? Number one is that, what is the purpose? You must develop purpose around your presentation. Why am I presenting? Why do I want to present? What is the purpose? What do I want to achieve? Okay, I came here this morning with a purpose, set everything, put everything in order, because I want to reach out to somebody. I want to share what I know with someone. I want to make an impact. Impact is the purpose. Okay, so every presentation you want to make, your purpose is what drives you. So if there's no purpose, then there is no driving force. So, but if there's purpose, even when you are nervous, because there's a driving force inside of you, you will not pack your bag when they say it's time for you to come up, you pack your bag and start running. And you are feeling like you want to go to the toilet. People want to catch you. Yeah, I want to talk now. No. That fear will not rule you, because purpose is ruling you. Because purpose is the guiding principle, is the driving force. Okay? So in anything you are doing in life, find the purpose around it. That's what will make you last, even when there's no money in need, because you have purpose, and as a driving force around what you are doing, you discover that it will strengthen you. It will strengthen you. Okay? Then your audience. So when you want to make a presentation, do you know your audience? Have you studied your audience? Do you know how they look like, their age, class, their academic, level, their exposure. There was a time I was asked to come and make a presentation to a group of doctors and nurses. So I started making some research into some certain medical vocabulary, because there's something they call vocabulary. Every profession has its own vocabulary. Because vocabulary is not necessarily grammar or English. Vocabulary is being able to speak in the language of a set of people. You get to medical environment, they have their vocabulary. You get to legal environment, lawyers, they have their vocabulary. You get to engineers, they have their vocabulary. IT people, they have their vocabulary. So if they are calling you to come and speak on purpose-driven life, for instance, to a set of nurses and doctors, you can't just go and begin to use the vocabulary of IT or vocabulary of a pastor. No. You need to speak to them in terms of, you don't need to be a medical person, but you need to know them. You need to know your audience. You need to know how to reach them. Okay, and then your subject matter also is very important. Now, there are 10 elements of powerful presentation. Number one is preparation. Must be well prepared. Then engagement. Your presentation should be ready to be engaging. You must be able to engage your audience. Engaging people is when you create an atmosphere that makes them to participate. Both you and them, they're following, they're learning something. There's a learning part, there's a direction. And you don't just come there and talk and then go, and then there's like, oh, what am I going to benefit from here? So if people cannot see what they're going to gain from what you're trying to teach them, then they won't flow with you. So then whatever you want to share should be authentic. Okay, you must do your research very well. Do your research very well. Don't come and say, 1930 was when Mandela was jailed. Those who know that Mandela it wasn't 1930, will look around you like this, and that's your presentation will become offensive, because there are serious abnormality in the information that you're passing. Then make use of visuals. I tell people right from the Bible days, Jesus made use of visuals. So you see that when Jesus is talking, he speaks with parables, he uses natural things, he uses things about agriculture, he speaks subject matter like farming, like agriculture, like things that have to do with profession. He's creating visuals. So he gives them parable, he's creating visuals. Even though during the time of Jesus, he didn't have projector or PowerPoint or anything to be able to do his presentation, but he created visuals in the spirit. And that made people to sit down and they were able to picture. Can people picture what you are saying? Can you get to a point where you begin to create picture that people can begin to see something? So let your presentation come with visuals, okay? Then develop good content. Then diversities, try and move into various angles. So when you prepare a presentation, try and touch some angles here and there, but they don't go too deep. The focus, but just diversifying sometimes, and then try to tell stories, humor. I do that a lot. Okay, like this moment now, I don't have much time. I will have injected some humor, some funny thing, and then just give some little story, because people want to picture something. They want to picture something, okay? Or you give examples, of your experience, some of the things that happened to you and all those stuff. So you prepare your presentation with that in mind. Then creativity, be creative. Okay, a good presenter has to be creative. Now, elements of bad presentation. Number one, lack of preparation, just like what we just had. Lack of preparation, not knowing the audience. Sometimes you need to find out, go to the place where you want to make presentation or send somebody or ask the person that is inviting you to give you something about information about the audience. How do it? Who are the classes of people I'm speaking to? Who are they? Are there? There was a time I was invited to speak somewhere and there were 3 professors there. Okay, so information, knowing my audience made me to know that I will be speaking to some professors. And so I prepared myself. And of course, I wasn't going to measure up to their level of knowledge or intellectual ability or capacity. No, but at least there is a way you communicate with professors. And then you need to be very careful when you're communicating with them. You don't need to begin to express knowledge that you don't have, enough information about. I mean, I won't bring up a subject that I have no data about. So don't go and you want to show up. No, stick to your subject. You are the master of your subject. Stick to the subject you are talking about. That's why they are listening to you. So don't come and try to show that you are a person of all-round knowledge and all knowledge of over the earth, you know it. Like some people insult their audience and say, you don't know this. I know you don't know. Let me tell you. You don't know, let me show you this. You don't know. Who told you that they don't know? Okay, your audience every audience is a group of people with different level of experience and exposure. So you can't say who your audience are, except you know them and you don't insult them. So then don't use too much material. You want to bring everything together. You want to say everything within short time. Everything, you will be confused. If you are using a slide, your slide should have simple. You can see my slide, short. Something that will not be too noisy. In communication, we talk about noise. When there's too much going at the side, you see some people, they will do a banner for a program. Their banner is noisy. And this is for pastors. When you want to do a banner, let the banner be simple. Plain white background is the best. Let the information be clear. It says the vision is for an apostle. It said, make it plain that he may run that readeth it. So sometimes someone may be passing by. He should be able to read it and get the message within 5 seconds of passing by, within 2 seconds of passing by. Do you know it's not everyone that will be able to stand by your banner and begin to read one by one, but they can see quickly name of event, venue, date, time, topic. That's all. Leave all details out of it. Let them come and know the details. That's his presentation. Leave detail. Then another very powerful subject of presentation is the use of monotone. You see, this monotone thing is what makes many people to lose interest when they are listening to speakers, especially the white people. The white people are guilty of this. Now, a white person is talking, and then he wants to start a subject. And most of the time they use monotone. And what is monotone? Monotone is when you use the same pattern of voice, the same pattern of sound all through your presentation. You are speaking as if you are a robot. You are speaking as if you are a recorded robot. You know, when you have this computer transcribe something that's speaking to you, they said, you know that I came here and I did it and I went away, you get. That's a monotone kind of speaking. You are just speaking. I mean, it will get to a time that the person that is listening to you will almost shout, no, stop, stop, stop. You are disturbing my ear. Because you're using monotone. So as a speaker, don't use monotone. Sometimes go higher, sometimes bring it down. When you want to create a sense of emotion, you want to create emotion around what you're speaking, begin to calm down a little, and then speak emotionally. And then all of a sudden, strike it with another voice. You do it! You do it! You see, so what happens is that, but speaking with diverse voice also you should have respect for your audience and the kind of people and the kind of presentation you are making. But what I'm saying is inject some viral various type of voice tones. Don't just speak one line as if they record you, the wave will not move. The wave will just go one line because you are speaking in monotone. And that's what makes some people feel so broad, because you are not communicating. Okay, then lack of focus and fear can destroy presentation. Now, every presentation goal, so this information will help you to know why you are presenting. Is because you want to change behavior. After this presentation now, maybe it is the issue of monotone that will change someone. Maybe it's the issue of knowing your audience that will change someone's behavior. Maybe it's the issue of getting your details and your facts right before you start speaking. So, but every presentation is meant to change behavior. And so if you know that you want to change behavior, then you must develop your content to make impact. Very, very important. And then to get action, to get people to act, to ensure that they understand, to persuade, and then of course also to get and give information. Okay, so as you're making presentation, you also want to draw information. Every time I speak in new events, I get new information. I add it to what I know. Okay, I get to another place, I may use part of the information I drew from people there as part of the content that I will use to speak. The people here don't know where I got the information. So you shouldn't go as if you are the only one that is here to speak at them, to them. No, it's not like that. You're also going there to draw information from people. All right. So going forward in our course, as a registered student, you'll be able to go deeper into preparing presentation and a little bit information also in PowerPoint presentation. So that's part of the course. Then delivering the presentation, we'll go more practical in the course to show people how to deliver. You'll see that I was doing some I was suggesting some little practical into it, but I was trying to say. So we'll go more deeper to tell people how to present. Visual aids, how to prepare your visual aid. Picture speaks volumes, okay? You need to respect that. And then balancing your sound and your tones, very, very important subject. How do you make sure that you speak? At what time do you notice, should you use this type of tone? At what time should you downgrade? At what time should you move higher? At what time should you balance? At what time should you speak consistently? So all these things are aspects that needs to be, that we will be focusing on more in the course session, under this course, developing effective presentation skill. Then audience participation. Every good speaker gets the participation of audience. You are there, they are there with you. They go through it with you. They learn with you, and they understand what you're saying. Okay, so audience participation is very, very, very important. Now, I notice sometimes, most times when I sit in the church, okay, and then somebody is teaching in the Sunday school. So whether I'm the guest or I'm the pastor of the church, I don't teach in the Sunday school. So, but I will go and sit down and just listen to one of my teachers or one of the teachers at a time. And then I could immediately get or derive from the Sunday school session that this person is a communicator, or this person is a presenter, or this person cannot communicate. Because some people, they are teaching in Sunday school, they will start from the time they open their material and speak all through. And then when they are done, they will say, does anybody have any question or contribution? and you can almost see that they are not even listening to the person that's trying to make a contribution. So that's a bad communication skill. If you are teaching people, you are teaching students, you are in a Sunday school, you are a teacher, you are whatever, you are a preacher, you need audience participation. Even when you are preaching, yes, they cannot ask you questions during preaching or message in the church, yes, but you can almost see when you are engaging people. You can almost see people even speaking back, communicating, and there's a connection. There's a connection between you, the preacher, the teacher, and the audience, the people, the congregation. Okay, so you must communicate. There must be participation. Okay, and then preparing how to close. So it's just like you take a flight. Most time I tell people, when you start your presentation, start with a short story, not story that will be story once upon a time. No, not really. Maybe a short example that will bring an introduction into your speech. Just a short one. Something like you want to speak about politics. Something like, do you know that in 1983, President so and so was the president of Nigeria or president of our country? One of the major things that he did was this. Then immediately you strike that, you get the audience involvement because you have started. You have started the presentation, and then you begin to move. You begin to move. And so that is, you must take your flight. So the moment you introduce a story or an interesting subject, they key in, they begin to listen. And then by the time you are rounding up, you must prepare a proper landing for yourself. A proper landing for yourself. A decision portion, a time of decision, a time when people will now come and say, okay, what is the way forward? So you must prepare your closing. All right, in concluding this presentation, the Chinese philosopher Confucius, about 2,000 years ago, said, what I hear, I forget. What I see, I remember. What I do, I understand. So you see that when it comes to presentation, effective presentation, it's all about speaking, it's all about visuals, it's all about people seeing something. So, but if you make everything speech, then you give them chance to forget easily. But if you make visuals, then with your visual aid, they have something to remember. Then when you now conclude your presentation with action points, with action, that is, you now make them to do something, and then they will never forget you or forget your subject, because you have created a means of understanding for them. All right, ladies and lady and gentlemen, I think I have gentlemen in the house, I wouldn't know. This is the topic that we want to present. And like I said, it is part of our course from the Lead Vision School of Ministry. Lead Vision School of Ministry is a certified leadership academy. And then, of course, provide admission to people to study and certificate in media ministry, which is 6 weeks. Certificate in Christian education and discipleship program, 6 weeks. Certificate in church leadership and management, 6 weeks. So this program runs virtual and physical. But physical is actually to encourage those who are around our academy to attend physically. We don't encourage someone traveling, taking transport to attend, so you can join virtual class. Now, this webinar will continue from time to time. We'll be sending information to you, and that's why we created a group. The link that you used to join this program contains a WhatsApp group link. which of course you can use to get update information about this presentation. Okay, and further ones. The next one that we'll be doing, which we'll be inviting you to join later, is developing effective listening skill. Listening. Many people think they listen, but they don't. And the reason why many people don't have proper understanding of certain things, and the reason why they forget certain things, or why their knowledge is limited, is because of lack of listening skill. And so this webinar, this next one that will be coming, probably next Saturday, or one time during the week, and another repeated edition on Saturday. Okay, so but we'll get you to know that is developing effective listening skill. All right, so thank you for coming. My name is Abraham once again, and it's nice to be with you. So if you have questions or you want to discuss with me because of time issue, you can join the WhatsApp group or send WhatsApp message to me directly via 080 230 72661. Okay, so you can easily communicate, ask questions, or you want to ask about the program, the training program, or you want to join and be part of the school. This promises to be interesting and refreshing and powerful enough for you to learn and be equipped for proper ministry tasks. So it's a certified course. The organization is certified, and so we offer certification to people, to everyone that attends. All right, so God bless you. You can unmute and just let's greet each other as we round up and go. So God bless you. God bless you. Welcome, Mr. Chizo Nicholas, Mr. Emma. Welcome. If you can hear me, Mr. Lies Guru, you're welcome. All right, so maybe you don't have any question or you don't have anything to say. Huh? Hello?
121, no, don't see life. You don't get.
I can't
Glorious one.
hear you clearly. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, so if there's nothing to say, that is where we are going to stop.
They do the berry. It was
God
successful.
bless you. God
Very
bless you.
successful.
God bless you.
And there was no interruption whatsoever. So they feel they can't give the family feedback. Why the family no actually